Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another Nacho Tuesday. And today I have James here with Finix. And without further ado, we'd love if you could introduce yourself, what you do over there, and tell us more about Finix.
Yeah, so hi everybody. My name is James Fisher, currently the Director of Support Engineering at Finix. I've been at Finix for 4 years, worked in a number of different roles across the organization, and I keep coming back for more every day. Finix itself, we're a full stack acquirer processor directly connected into all the major credit card networks. We level the playing field by eliminating middlemen out of the payment stack. Through these direct connections, we're able to bring every business using Finix better technology, better customer support, and better pricing. We serve the most simple use cases, such as small and large businesses, whether they're brick-and-mortar stores or online e-commerce stores, through to our larger ISV customers with complex use cases, split payments, digital marketplaces, and then following on, we've got our support for our registered payment facilitators as well.
Awesome. And you're over at Money 2020 in Las Vegas right now, is that correct?
Yes, currently at Money 2020, taking the call from the glamorous Link Hotel next to the Venetian where the actual event is. So if anyone here is watching and is at Money 2020, find me on LinkedIn and let us know. Finix is actually based, we've got a space at Cananita today. It's on the Grand Canal Shops. The team will be there all day. So if you want to swing by and speak payments, we've got a full team of payments nerds who are more than willing to talk about anything payments related, anything Money 2020 related. But yeah, we're here all day and it's been a great event so far.
Awesome. Yeah, we have a fintech side of our platform too, so maybe I should fly over there from Vegas and I'll see you at your event.
Yeah. If you can, if you're here in the next 2 or 3 hours, we'll be here.
All right, shoot, we got to end this interview early. Just kidding.
Sorry, taking a flight right now. We'll see you soon.
Yep, LaGuardia is pretty close by. So I guess you're probably learning about a lot of great stuff over there, right? So you're right in the mix. Can you tell us maybe about some of the latest trends that you're hearing about and maybe that you've seen over the last few years in the payment industry for both businesses and in-person merchants?
Yeah, I think one of the things, having now been at Finix for 4 years and seen its evolution, we started as this developer-friendly API first, purely working with these registered payfacs, with a plumbing, with a technology layer that was helping these companies. What we saw though, as time has evolved, is more of a need for user-friendly dashboard-first experience. So a couple of years back, we kind of pivoted or expanded our offering into this kind of low-code, no-code offering. One of the key trends that we're hearing about, not just now at Money 2020, but over the last couple of years, is time to revenue, speed to revenue, time to implementation. If you're becoming a registered payfac, it's an incredibly costly experience. If you think about Uber back in the day when they got into the payments game, I believe they had a team of about 400 payments engineers. I don't know about you, Andy, but I haven't met many companies that have 400 engineers dedicated to solely working on payments. And it's a huge opportunity for Finix or folks like Finix to step in, reduce that barrier to entry, and allow these customers to have this highly configurable, customizable, but easy to use and easy to implement payment solutions.
Awesome. As they always say, time is money, right? So you got to get that up and running. It's got to work quickly, of course, because that's the lifeblood of your company, being able to, get and send payments.
Yeah, absolutely. And sort of on that, I think thinking about the ease of implementation, one of the trends that we're hearing about is ease of payment acceptance. A lot of the legacy payment players that are in the space, they're built on technology that was built in the 80s and 90s, which if someone says 30 years ago to me, I think of the 70s. 30 years ago was the mid-90s now. And so you've got these organizations that haven't changed, haven't evolved. They've grown.
You're making me feel old.
Sorry, I'm not trying to insult anyone.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, these folks have built their organizations, and they were great at the time, right? They were serving a relatively simple use case, not these complex strategies in payments that we're seeing these days. And they've grown by think of it as like a patchwork quilt through acquisition. And so you've got all these pieces stitched together that with one slight sort of pull, the whole thing can come falling apart. So that's sort of where we've come from, where we've built everything on our side from the ground up. I mentioned we're directly connected into the major networks. We built all of that in-house. We've got an incredible team of engineers who have done things they said we couldn't do. They've done it, and we're living it. But yeah, the ease of payments, ease of acceptance, and being able to handle all of your payment solutions with one provider such as Finix.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially with the growth in international business, mobile commerce.
Yeah.
People just want their money faster. They got to be able to send money on the go as well. So I
Yeah.
guess, what are some of the new popular payment methods to kind of align with some of these trends? Obviously, Apple Pay and a lot of mobile payments are kind of a big one. Which ones do you anticipate growing in use, and which ones are going to stick around over the next 10 years?
Yeah, well, you've got the classics, your credit cards, your debit cards, your ACH bank transfers. I don't think those are going anywhere anytime soon. But again, with the evolution of the digital wallet, contactless cards, and then you've got the newer, I guess, the newer players accepting payments via Zelle, PayPal, Venmo. Those are all kind of growing in popularity. A lot of the folks we work with they'll start with one payment acceptance method. They'll launch with just credit and debit cards or just ACH. Although, they'll jump in with both feet and handle the whole thing. But we make it, again, super easy for you to take all of those methods, credit card, debit card, ACH. We've got support for Apple Pay, Google Pay, Samsung Pay, and just being able to handle those in every channel, using Apple Pay online, using Apple Pay in store, using Apple Pay on a mobile app. I'd say one of the things that we're seeing more and more, we work with a lot of folks that are in the field services industry. They're providing software for plumbers, contractors, folks out in the field who will turn up to your house, change your gas, fix your car. They want to be able to take a payment on the phone. So they'll build a payments app. It's integrated with Finix. They can tap the card and the payment's done, and it's going to be in the merchant's account next day or 2 days, or whatever they set that payment schedule out as.
That's pretty convenient. Yeah. And especially if they can increase the ability for them to be able to get the money in, it helps the cash flow for the business.
Yeah.
You don't have to be chasing the client for, to fix after you fix their gas or whatever, to come back later to try to collect payment, which probably turn their gas off again, I guess, right?
Yeah. They want that money then and there. And the buyer wants to sort of have that similar experience as the seller, right? They want to conveniently, easily pay for the goods and services that they're receiving.
Yep. Yeah. Nobody likes to owe money.
Nope.
Can you explain maybe how embedded payments are kind of becoming more popular, and how that's transforming the customer experience?
Yeah. I mean, going back to that use case of like having that fully embedded solution within your application. You don't want to go to a website, go to an app, and then have to jump out to a different experience, make a payment, right? That raises all questions about security. Is this the person I thought I'm paying? Am I in the right place? Yeah. And so being able to embed a payments acceptance solution into any of the channels that you want to offer is incredibly powerful for our customers and the merchants, the tens of thousands of merchants around the world that that we can support now and we want to continue to support. I think an analogy I often think of is Netflix, Amazon Prime, right? That led to immediate delivery of anything we want. You go on store and you need some emergency supplies. Click, boom, pay, it's done. It could be at your house in the next 2 hours. I want to watch this movie. Click, boom, pay. I'm watching it right now. You don't have to go to the video store anymore. You don't have to rent a VHS. So I think this sense of convenience and immediate realization of goods and services is what we're able to help power and provide with embedded payment solutions to our customers.
Great point. Yeah, because it's always weird, and unless you know the brand like PayPal, of course, but to get redirected, you're trying to buy something on one site or subscribe to a service, and then you get redirected to some other payment site you've never heard of, and you're like, is this in Russia? Yeah.
Where am I? What am I paying for right now?
Yeah. Who am I actually? Where's my money actually going? Embedded payments kind of help build that trust with the customer. So I guess what other key factors should businesses consider when initiating or streamlining their payment processes?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think first and foremost, you want to work with a partner that wants to work with you, that wants to support you, that wants your successes to be their successes. One of our first and my favorite value at Finix is a customer first mentality. When we think about anything that we're doing, it's the customer at the top, then it's the organization, Finix, department, team, and then at the bottom you've got self, the individual. So picking a partner that has your vested interest as their number one priority is key. That's the top level fluffy answer. When we think about the nitty gritty, I think it's very important for a merchant, a platform, an ISV who's thinking about getting into payments to understand that payments layer cake. We've got a great blog article about it on our website. It explains all of the major players involved in taking a payment. I used to walk into a shop, tap my credit card, and just be like, cool, I've got the thing. I didn't think 2 seconds about what was going on behind the scenes, but you've got my issuing bank, you've got the card network, then in between that, you've got payment facilitator, processors, and then the acquiring bank on the other side. All of those folks are taking a skim of that processing fee. So understanding when you make a payment, what's involved, what are the actual processing costs, and then sort of leading on to that, how can we improve those costs? How can we work on margin optimization, knowing what we know, that there's going to be these little pieces that are taken from my payment processing volume.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't understand that, especially consumers, right? Like you said, they just kind of need their credit card, and now everything just magically happens on the back end, which is a great customer experience, right? Which you don't, if it's done right, the customer doesn't know, that shouldn't even care actually about how that stuff happens on the back end. But you as a business, you could be putting a lot more money in your pocket by understanding and optimizing these processes for better efficiency. And I guess, what other support services do you guys offer for your partners to kind of help them with this whole process of streamlining their payments?
Yeah, so we've got an incredibly talented team across the board. We have our directors of engineering that join sales calls and customer calls right there. We want to help people understand what's going to be involved in making this switch to processing payments with Finix. Or if you're net new, right, and you're launching a business, it can feel a little daunting, and we want to be there hand in hand with our customers. We offer dedicated implementation engineering resources. You'll have your dedicated customer delivery manager who's going to oversee the whole thing, see you through your entire lifetime at Finix. Incredibly passionate team of people who love to just help. I think that's one of my favorite things at Finix, is everybody wants to help everyone. We're fully involved in that. And then I think one of the great things about the Finix platform, it's an all-in-one solution. We provide all of your reporting, data analytics, insights in our dashboard. And so we go back to that dashboard first mentality. We want to think about every interaction that someone has on that dashboard. That then trickles down to our API development, feature development. What is the experience going to be for our customer, the merchant? What does it feel like for a buyer online if they're using one of the Finix hosted payment solutions? So providing all of that information, and not just giving it to them and walking away, but taking that proactive approach to be like, hey, I've noticed one of my favorite things about our platform is we give insight into transaction failure reason. So we see a huge trend in transactions failing for insufficient funds, and someone could keep retrying. We can apply logic to those transactions to only apply, don't even attempt that transaction the second time. We see failures for the address verification service. So someone might enter the wrong zip code and it doesn't work, or if they've moved and changed address, being able to provide that insight, and then actionable next steps for how to improve those failure rates, get your margins looking better, more successful transactions, and a happier merchant and buyer experience.
Awesome. Yeah, that's really telling that you guys actually include engineers into the whole process for, in the sales process, but also in the implementation process. A lot of companies, get really, they're focused on just sales, right? So you're going to be talking with sales guys that know how to talk the talk, but don't know how to, actually do the implementation. So it's a little bit different in terms of them really understanding your needs. But the fact that you guys kind of put engineers behind that effort to really help with the implementation, I think speaks a lot to your guys' customer, your customer experience that you guys offer. So kudos for you guys for doing that.
Kudos to the team. We just help facilitate it on our side. We bring we bring the folks in from the various teams. I think what's really important about the engineers hearing directly from not even prospects all the way through to our customers is we actually connect them with the developers on their side, right? We want to foster that developer to developer connection, and that way, when we're building new product, designing new features, building new specs, the team doing it has heard firsthand either the wants, the pains, the frustrations, the challenges that those customers and prospects have been facing. So we're not getting this kind of game of telephone of customer tells us, we tell a PM tells an engineer, and then they'll build something that it just gets lost in communication. But if they're hearing these things firsthand, partnering with our customers, we even bring our designers and we'll share mock-ups and wireframes with customers about, hey, we're building this new thing. How does this feel to you? And what can we tweak and what can we change to solve your use case?
That's great. So I guess what key data points should businesses prioritize when initiating and optimizing their payment processes to ensure that they're making informed decisions? You mentioned you guys give them a lot of feedback in terms of, why like a transaction fails, for instance. Anything else that you could clarify there?
Yeah, I mean, there's two. I'd sort of bucket this into two categories. There's sort of margin optimization piece where Finix, unlike some of our competitors that are a black box for fees, right? You pay 2.9 and 30 cents, 2.9% and 30 cents. You don't know where that went, what that made up. We're incredibly transparent with our customers. They'll have the pricing that was negotiated in their agreement, and then we provide reporting and analytics on those sort of ancillary fees that make up the rest of it, the dues and assessments, the interchange, anything other additional. It's very easily spelled out. So on a transaction by transaction, a merchant by merchant, and across your portfolio, you can really get into your profitability for each merchant. And if someone's standing out as, oh, why is this merchant not as profitable as my others? We can dig into that with our customers, and maybe they're using expensive credit cards to process transactions. They could be using your Chase Sapphire rewards, right? How do we think all those reward points get generated? It's because of these high interchange and dues and assessment fees that come with that. I think so. The profitability there is a huge piece. Transaction failure kind of ties into that as well. And then the sort of not so glamorous world of chargebacks and compliance. Chargebacks are inevitable. Compliance is required. I think one of the great things that we've done over the years is simplify and demystify the chargeback process. We allow merchants even to log into the Finix dashboard. They have a report of all their chargebacks. You can see as a sort of portfolio view which merchants have excessive chargebacks. We can work directly with those customers to put a cure plan in place to help reduce that. What are the main reasons we're seeing for chargeback? Is it fraud? Is it quality? Is it some of these others? Is it a technical reason? What can we do to help bring that down? And then compliance, right? Everybody who's processing payments has to be compliant. In the previous world, managing compliance was you had to leverage multiple partners, multiple different platforms, manually actually use a pen on paper and fill out a form. Finix takes that all into consideration and generates these PCI compliance forms for our customers without them having to touch anything. And then merchants can just click to sign, click to agree. Cool, I know I'm compliant now. I can feel good about myself and sleep easier at night.
Yep. Yeah. So it sounds like you guys are actively involved, not only in the implementation of payment processing, but the ongoing optimization of that and really helping your clients, find success, which is, obviously going to keep them around longer if they're finding success through you guys. So good strategy there, I guess. With your insights, can you share some key strategies for optimizing transaction efficiency that you've seen work well with your customers and the industry as a whole?
Yeah, I think it's key to pay attention to, feel like we've talked about it a lot, but your transaction failure reasons, and not just take I had a bunch of failures and that's fine, let's move on, but let's dig into these failures. Do we see a pattern? Do we see a trend? I think fraud monitoring and trying to prevent against bad actors is key. Finix has, we have a fraud monitoring service that we use, and it can be configured and tweaked. But I think at the end of the day, the main thing that we want with that is we're trying to protect our customer, trying to protect the merchant, we're trying to protect the buyers from any of those nefarious doers that are out there. So focusing on transaction failures is key. Focusing on margin optimization is key. Those are some of the sort of less techy pieces. And then obviously we want to make sure that working with our customers, we've got incredibly fast response times for transactions. We've got incredibly strong uptime. Payments is a 24/7 game. There's no 10-hour maintenance windows that we can do. I think we wouldn't be here if we took a Sunday off to update things on our side. So
we'll take any hour of the day.
Any hour of the day. You need us, we're here.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great to hear. So do you guys identify pattern fraud, like maybe with the end buyer, like a particular user? Do you track them across maybe multiple merchants and identify or flag any potential issues with the end user as well?
Yeah, so the system that we use and we have can track and pattern match IP address, the card bin, the card fingerprint, and the system will smartly say, well, we've seen some potentially shady stuff over here. And we can flag transactions that might be used across a different a different merchant somewhere else, right? Do we see an email that's being used, or an email domain that's being used that has been associated with high chargebacks, high number of returns and refunds? Card testing, someone just consistently entering the same card bin, changing the last four, the same address, trying to change the CVV, the code that they enter. So we got alerting in place to make sure that we get ahead of that and catch those as they're happening.
Very cool. Yeah, so you guys have a kind of a built-in network effects that becomes really valuable over time. I like that. So I guess, what challenges do businesses face when navigating payment processing, and how can they overcome some of these obstacles?
Yeah, I think thinking about where we've come on our journey, going back to being developer first, API first, our evolution to dashboard first, API powered, and our suite of low code, no code. I think one of the challenges is seamless and easy integration. That once it's built, doesn't require maintenance from your end as a customer ongoing. That's what we're here. We've built this, we maintain it. We want our customers to know that we've got this covered in terms of keeping the lights on. So I think it's that development, that integration speed and ease is one of the challenges that folks will face. And we have seen a lot of people who may have been using multiple gateways in the past. They could be doing their acquiring through one tool, their merchant payouts through another tool. If they want to do instant payouts, they're using a third tool. You've got multiple banks all over the place, multiple systems you have to manage and try and tie all of that together. So kind of simplifying that and bringing everything under one roof is a challenge that folks face, and they come to us and we can offer this all-in-one solution for whatever they want to do. And then you've got people who are maybe online only and they want to launch card present, or and if they want to start taking ACH instead of just credit card and debit cards, we've got them covered. You don't have to go to another provider to handle any of that. So again, I think that the theme now I'm hearing myself talk is taking lots of different sort of tools all over the place, bringing everything together, and you've got your acquiring, you've got your payouts, you've got your reporting and data analytics, your chargeback management, your fraud management, your compliance. It's all handled in one place.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, there's no one size fits all, because every like the payment setup for each and every client might be a little bit different from the other ones. Especially depending on industry too, right? Some might have more compliance issues maybe, or they might have some other factors that might determine how they're actually able to accept or process payments. Yeah,
there's going back a little bit, thinking about the advanced things that we can do with handling marketplace transactions. Some people might have a dream, they want to be able to support a marketplace, but how do I do that? How do I build that? Where do I even start? We've got this really powerful product feature called split transactions that enables you to pay out. You could have as many merchants involved in this buying process as possible. I could have a basket full of 10 things from 10 different merchants. I make one transaction. Finix is able to pay out all those individual sellers. And again, that can be reconciled within our own tools. So the theme I'm hearing now is simplification and unification of your payment processing solutions.
Yep. Yeah, you guys got a lot of options and tools, and then you kind of streamline it to the right ones, the right fit for the right customer.
Exactly.
I guess what are some other essential tools and technologies an SMB can use to streamline their payment processing?
If you're an SMB, you've got a great idea for a great product. Where do you start? How do you start beginning this payments acceptance?
Go to Finix.
Come to us, www.finix.com. Come to us. We've got this really been focusing, I'd say, the last year, maybe a bit longer, on our low-code, no-code solutions. So everything that you want to be able to do is powered by our API as well. So you can do your full API integration. You can control absolutely everything. Or out of the box, we've got these no-code, low-code solutions. So your merchant underwriting and onboarding can be handled by you via API. Or you can use the hosted Finix onboarding forms. They can be customized and branded to your look and feel. But you don't have to do any development work and integration. Cool. Merchant underwriting is now taken care of. We have hosted tokenization forms. So you don't have to worry about card security and potentially exposing yourself to handling that raw card data. And then even the full checkout page. We offer a full checkout solution. So you don't even have to build your checkout page. Finix can do that. We're offering things like payment links, where if you want to just send a link to someone, they can make a payment through that, and there's no integration required there at all. We offer a virtual terminal within our Finix dashboard, so you can just log into the Finix dashboard and start taking payments right away. There's zero integration required to get that up and running. So I think if you're an SMB looking to get up and running, finding a partner that's going to help you with these sort of really easy to implement solutions, but give you that opportunity for further development, right? You blow up, your product is huge, you start to hire developers. You can take everything that you've been using with the low-code, no-code solutions, start to build your own API solution, and your dashboard, your reporting, nothing changes. It's all still in the same place. So you've got this ability to evolve as and when you want it, at your speed and your pace.
That's great. Yeah, so you can kind of start small and then expand as your needs do accordingly.
Exactly.
So I guess, yeah, given the vastness of the payments landscape, what is it at now? Like 430-ish billion. It's going up over $1 trillion in the next or 1.5 trillion, I believe, right? By 2032.
Yes.
How do you guys kind of position yourself in that market as it continues to grow?
Yeah, as it continues to grow, we hear and we see new trends, new requirements from not only our current customers, but the market, our prospects. What's important to them, that really determines and defines our roadmap and our development. I think empowering these, what's the stat? There's 22 million businesses in the US that maybe don't have a developer, don't have a background in developing a payment solution. How do we help them? And how do we bring them into the Finix family, the Finix fold, and support them, but continuing to grow and support the more tech-forward customers, right? We want to be able to help everyone, give everybody different options. You might want to do an API integration for one of your channels, and then you might just want to do a hosted solution for another channel. So, yeah, as it grows and develops and we see new trends, our team is incredibly aware of everything. We're at Money 2020 this year, hearing about everything that's going on. I think, as always, big topics of conversations. It's going to be blockchain. It's going to be crypto, payments acceptance, merchant onboarding, underwriting, compliance, making sure that we're constantly up to date with all of the requirements on our side. So I think that's truly letting us foster innovation and adaptability within the organization and within the industry as well.
Excellent. And do you guys have a booth out there at Money 2020 as well, or?
No booth this year, but I mentioned earlier we've got a space at a restaurant called Cananita. We have the team here today.
Venetian.
In the Venetian, yes, it's in the Grand Canal, so you can feel like you're in Venice, but it's in Vegas. And yeah, we've got the team here. Richie Cerner, our CEO, is here. So if anybody listening is here and wants to swing by, come see us at the Cananita. It's in the Grand Canal at the Venetian.
Awesome. Any last thoughts? Why should people go to finix.com today and learn more about your guys' company?
Yeah, I mean, if you've been paying attention to the news, we had some pretty big news last week. We raised a $75 million Series C, which is hugely exciting for us. It's been a long road to get here. We couldn't have done any of this without the incredible support from our customers and our partners. And we're just thoroughly involved and invested in taking this and continuing to develop new functionality. Being kind of one of the most recent payments companies to raise a significant round, I feel like it's going to hopefully reignite the industry, bring more faith back into the world that, hey, we're still out here, we're still developing, we're still innovating. Come to Finix, you get to partner with a great team, and yeah, become one of our customer first advocates and champions.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like you guys have a really good thing going on over there, and with the market expanding the way it is for payments, I mean, you guys are clearly leading the way. So, hop on board.
Yes.
Yeah. So everybody, please check out finix.com. It's a great platform. We've taken a look at it ourselves here at NachoNacho. We're excited to be partners with Finix as well. You can pick them up today in the NachoNacho B2B SaaS marketplace. We do have a special offer there for anybody that wants to sign up, or feel free to go learn directly on their website, finix.com, and check their product out today. It works for all different sizes of businesses, no matter how simple or complex your needs are. It could be a simple restaurant. It sounds like you could just use their no-code embedded options to take payments right then and there, even if you're a plumber. So you don't have to be a technical person, a geek, to take your first payments and start growing your business today. And once again, James, thanks for coming on, and enjoy the rest of Money 2020.
Thanks, Andy. Really appreciate the time. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You too.